This pattern is called the Brown Owl, and it's number 5 within Pritt's book. I have to admit it's probably my favourite pattern to dress, and it features the hackle taken from the brown owl's wing. Now, woe betide anybody who goes around using brown owl hackles for their flies, but because I have a vast collection of Victorian fly tying collections and taxidermy, it gives me the opportunity to dress this pattern with its appropriate hackle. And though in many ways we can replicate the colour of the hackle, it's in fact very difficult to replicate the softness of the hackle itself. If I was to try and find a suitable alternative to an owl hackle, I would probably look somewhere in the region of a rump feather taken from a game bird. Now, to dress this fly, we start our silk immediately behind the eye of the hook and trap it in with 4 good firm tight wraps. The head of the fly is formed with peacock curl. So here, take your single strand of peacock curl and snip off the end. Now mount the peacock curl on top of the hook shank and bind it down with 3 or 4 tight wraps of silk. Take your peacock curl and slowly wrap it around the hook shank, carefully brushing the fibres forward to form a nice head to the fly. Once you are happy with the size and density of the head, then trap in the excess peacock curl and bind down. Now take your owl hackle and slowly brush away the fibres to expose a small tip. Trim this tip down with your scissors. And carefully mount in the hackle again with 3 or 4 firm wraps of silk. You can of course trim off the waist ends, but in reality you're going to bury these with the body silk anyway. Now taking your hackle in the hackle pliers, slowly but firmly start to wrap the hackle back towards the hook bend. The owl hackle is incredibly delicate and quite sparse, so you can get away with possibly 3 or even 4 turns of hackle. If your hackle fibres are slowly getting into the way, just brush them forward out of the way. Once you're happy with the correct density of hackle, then trap it in with 3 or 4 firm turns of silk. Trim off the waist end. And now bring your silk in tight touching turns down the hook shank to a point somewhere between the point of the hook and the end of the barb. This of course is a barbless hook, so the rack of the eye comes here. Once you're happy with the length of the body, now again in tight touching turns, bring your silk up, back up the hook shank to a point immediately behind where the hackle is. Now take your whip finish tool and put in there a 3 or 4 turn whip finish. Pull the silk tight and trim off. And there you have the brown owl.